Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Cancer, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember these are general readings, so not everything is going to resonate with everyone, and that's fine, and to always use your own discernment and judgment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, happy damn birthday to ya. If you are celebrating this week, I truly hope that you have an amazing solar return. Remember to fill that day with a little bit of everything that you want this entire year ahead of you to have in it for you. Use this day, the day of your solar return, whatever day you're celebrating this week, to really maximize the potential of this year. Do a little bit of everything that you want this entire year to be about for you. Now, that being said, check this out. You've got the High Priestess, which is one of your cards as a Cancerian for your key to the week, right? This makes you super psychic. You've got the sun in your sign, illuminating you, highlighting you, regenerating you, refreshing you, rebirthing you in some way, shape or form. Literally, right? And one of the things that I like to say about the sun and your birthday or your solar return is the sun's traveled the entire zodiac over the last 12 months, gathering knowledge, information, wisdom, and now he's pouring it all into you, right? Now he's infusing you with all of that knowledge, with all of those things that are now ready to be assimilated into your psyche, into your being. So this makes you super psychic this week. You are very intuitive, you're very psychic. You might even be, you know, that buzzword that everyone uses for Cancerian energy, but you might be a little bit more sensitive this week. Now, one of the things that I like to say is that your sensitivity is your superpower. So make sure you use it, right? And if there's something that you've always wanted to know, if there's something that you've always felt was maybe a little bit hidden from you, probe into it with your intuitive energy this week, because you may very well get an answer. You know, the sun is illuminating you, and where your intention and your attention goes, you may illuminate something. So use this for your, sorry, I know this is very long videos already. For your actions and options, you've got the Nine of Swords. All right, so this week you may be a little bit like the Hulk. And the reason I say that is because the Nine of Swords is already quite a dramatic sort of woe is me kind of card. Sometimes it can be that we're making things worse than they actually are. You yourself, the Hulk described himself once as a raw, exposed nerve. You are this week, I know it's the cliche and all the rest of it, but you are this week a little bit sensitive, right? And so everything's going to affect you on a deep level. Don't make it more than it is, all right? Don't hold on to what you really don't need to hold on to. For your communications and conversations, you have the Queen of Wands. This could be a really interesting week when it comes to communication. You could be having conversations with people about things that especially like, let's say you work for somebody else, like, so you're an employee. Maybe you end up talking to, I don't know, Jimmy, the office boy, or, Karen, the manager, or what, you could end up talking to someone this week and having a conversation that is so beyond, so much more profound than you ever thought you would get out of that person. The reason I say this is because the Queen of Wands is very linked to the mysteries. And when I say the mysteries, I mean the mysteries, right? So this week you may find yourself having conversations and communications with people that are, just like, what? I never thought I could have a conversation like this with you, but I'm loving it and thank you. It could be truly wonderful. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, you just know what the right actions are this week. You just feel the direction that you should be going in, and it's going to be visceral this week. Like, Cancerian intuition is already very visceral, right? I know this because I have the moon in Cancer in my chart. It's one of the things that I am so proud of, and people say, but you're an Aquarius sun, and it is a really weird placement for somebody with an Aquarius sun. I have to be honest, right? But I love it because I truly believe it's part of what makes me me. It's truly what I believe is what infuses me with the gifts that I have. Shameless self-promotion there. Sorry, that was very arrogant, and I don't mean to be. But yeah, like this week you just know, right? So, and even if you're, even if you work for somebody else, like your suggestions could have weight this week. And like I said, you could be finding yourself this week, all Cancerians, having conversations with people that you never thought you could have these kinds of talks with. It's really interesting and very exciting. For your those of you that are retired or no longer working, this would be a really good week for you to start building up your psychic defenses, for all of you especially. But when you reach a certain stage of life and you're a little bit more seasoned, as I like to say, not old or older, when you're a little bit more seasoned, your psychic energy tends to be more powerful anyway, and that's why we have the crone, right? And it tends to be that because you have less inhibitions, like quite frankly, the older you get, the less you give a shit about stuff that really doesn't matter anyway. But the older you get, the more you tend to be a bit more uninhibited, and you might find that this week you need to have a little bit, you need to put some reins on your intuition so that you're not getting everything all at once. You know what I mean? For your money and materials, oh yeah, look at this. You got the Chariot card, right? So you really show up as yourself this week. You got the High Priestess, that's your inner world and your intuitive energy. You got the Chariot card, that's your outer world and your hard sort of exterior exoskeleton. The fact that you have this in your money and materials, look at this as well. Look at the image on this card. If you have ever wanted to free yourself from a debt, this is the week to do it. The money is there. The opportunity is there to release a debt, to, maybe weight as well. Did you know that weight is also a form of debt? Really, really interesting concept. And I can't remember where I read this. It was just recently, or maybe it was something that occurred to me because someone said something about, instead of saying losing weight, try saying releasing weight. And in my mind, I was like, yeah, and it's a debt. Like, this could be a really great week for you to set that intention. I want to release this weight, therefore get rid of this debt. But it could just as easily be on a monetary level as well. Some financial move that you've made that you've been worried about, this week you could really see the potential of how amazing it could be for you. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is all the areas that you rule. This is going to be the chest and the breasts. This is going to be your stomach. This would be a great week to do a detox. I did one just last week and it was brutal. This would be a really good week to do so. Anything that you start this week in terms of something to do with your health or your finances has a really powerful chance to succeed. Use it to your advantage. And then when it comes to your, interestingly enough, yeah, because it's the new moon in Cancer, use it effectively. When it comes to your home and environment as well, it's the Chariot card, right? This could be, maybe you have found the home that you want to buy, maybe you found the area that you want to move to, maybe you are now working on the home that you have already acquired. It's just a really great week. For your love and relationship, you've got the Four of Swords. This is, quite frankly, for those of you that are partnered in relationships, you just want more alone time. You just want more alone time, adult nap time. You just want to be with your partner, and it really is about that sensuality, that sexuality, that creativity. The Four of Swords is slow, it's easy, it doesn't do things fast, and this is you having that experience where you're connecting to your significant other, maybe in a really spiritual way. Like, maybe this week the sex goes beyond just sex and becomes something spiritual. I know I'm getting a bit out there for some people, but I really feel like this could be the week where you could, and even this is like, even if you've been married for years, like you could just find this new depth of closeness that you maybe haven't felt for a while, or you know, maybe this is the next level of it. Like your relationship in some way, shape or form is evolving. I love this, and it's happening on a slow and steady level rather than like a wham bam thank you ma'am. For those of you that are single, this week I think you're going to come into the realization that your person is already on their way. It's kind of like this, you know what, I'm going to stop looking, I'm going to stop chasing because I already know this person is on their way to me. There's a sense that this week you just know that person, like it's almost like you can feel it, right? This extra sensitivity, you can feel it through the air, through the ether. And it's like, you know what, I'm going to stop looking. I don't need to do that. I'm not going to chase it because I know my person is coming. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care and I'll see you soon.